So as far as the building goes, I don't actually have 100% of the numbers yet. I was trying to get those all day. The ownership's going to get back to me tomorrow. The floor plan I handed you. That's an estimate with the wall. I think you all saw where we were talking about putting the wall.
Yeah.
Approximately 6,050 feet from that wall over here. Their asking rate on the building with the last people it was marketed with was $10 per square foot per year. And so that comes out to 83 cents per square foot per month. That adds up to $5,021. So the way I structured a little bit of a draft proposal was including the parking in that at no extra charge, and then writing it up at $5,000 flat initial rate. I know that sounds a little high, so we're going to work on it. It's just a template to start with. From this, I want to get an idea of what you want the landlords to do and what you would want to take on yourselves in terms of the construction. I think the whole space needs sprinklers already. I think that's a job that the landlord should probably undertake. They're a lot better at dealing with cities. They get permits through faster, and sprinklers are a huge project. So what my thoughts were is the best way to structure it would be have the landlord rip it all down to shell space for you, take out all the walls, and then install the sprinkler system, and then let you sort of draw your own floor plan, and depending on how much of the project you guys wanted to take on, build all the inside out yourself. I know you said you had some construction connections in the area, and so that would probably be the best option. The demo for the landlord is fairly cheap. The sprinkler system install is going to be fairly pricey, but if that's the main expensive thing you're asking of them, it's not going to affect the deal too much. Because you're looking at a long-term lease, as I understand it, 15 years isn't out of the question, even 20. You have a very strong negotiating position, and they've already expressed that they're going to be flexible with us. So I think if we write it up as I just described, I would come in at $4,000 a month, plus your triple net, which is going to, we're waiting on the final number for that. A high ballpark estimate would be between $1,000 to $1,500. Hopefully it's 1,000 or less. If that's still out of the budget though, then I think we could definitely find a way to work around a deal. No matter what, we're going to structure a large free rent period at the front end of the lease, at a minimum 6 months, more like 7 to 8 months free rent, depending on just where we end up in negotiations. If you don't want to take it completely free and you'd rather have a longer discounted period in time to grow a congregation, we can also take, if we were going to get 6 months free rent, and turn it into a year of half rent. And that sometimes works better for starting out in a new space, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of construction in it yourself. Let's see, in terms of what else is available in the market right now, you guys are actually, I'm working with another church, and I've been working with them for about a week longer than I've worked with you guys. The requirement's slightly larger, but we've scoured the market, and the only other spaces that work for this, the asking rents on them are $20 to $25 per square foot per year, and so you're looking at very, very high dollar values there. This building's been vacant a little over a year and a half, so they're ready to negotiate on it. And the amount of parking that you have right out there, all these cars are on a month-to-month lease with the landlord from the nearby dealerships. And they would happily tell the dealerships they couldn't use it anymore if a long-term tenant came in here.
Can we negotiate with them? Maybe they can rent some of the
parking back?
Some list from us?
The way a lot of those types of things are structured, it'd be considered a sublet if the parking lot's part of your lease. And whenever you have a sublet situation, there's going to be a clause in the lease that says you can't profit off of it. The landlord gets all the money. So you could do that, but it wouldn't be of any benefit to you.
Yeah, the sprinklers. If he's going to do the sprinklers, will it be the same price?
Yeah, you get an amount of tenant improvements no matter what. So if he does the sprinklers, all those numbers I just said are considering him doing a lot of work in here. If he does absolutely nothing, then I think we can cut the price down a lot more. But honestly, installing a full sprinkler system as a user of the building is just going to be a nightmare. It's a landlord's job to do that kind of stuff.
Well, I already told Fletcher that our budget is already set for 3,000. So that's it. The other thing that really we're trying to deal with is really that is, and then the owner know that it has to come with a parking, what really the square footage that we already leased from them. So that is then plus that we're going to, we don't mind go through the years with no value of property and things like that. It can fluctuate it. So that we understand it, but to start it off, that is our budget is 3.
Yeah, and so
Yeah,
now that I have that number in mind, I'm gonna go back and I'm not even pulling out the proposal I drafted up, because there's no point.
Another thing that Fletcher, because that also the square foot, it cover those parking right there. Because those are parking, it belong to this building. So that's a part of the lease, and I don't know where that clause in that case that we have. Because we use the church 3 times, twice Wednesday and Sunday. So if that went, those guys has to be out on those days.
Yeah, and